Alright, here we go with part 2 of our skiing instructional video, how to break the expert barrier in one day. What you got in part 1 was the essential. That is the fundamental foundation of this technique. And I say this technique, it is absolutely not my technique. This is the correct way to ski. I don't know anybody who's ever taught any other way other than just going back, oh, I don't know, 40, 50 years with the stem Christie and all that stuff. But skiing has evolved, skiing technique has evolved tremendously, and a large part of that is because of the equipment. Now what you're going to see in this video is you're going to see this skill demonstrated. The effective use of the ski pole. First of all, you put the ski pole on correctly, you come up from the bottom, you adjust it so that your hand with your glove on is supported by the strap. And you get serious, you get very, very serious about your poles. Your poles are essential. They're not along for the ride. The pole plant is not this timid little poke in the snow. It's a jam. Why? Because you're coming down with as much energy, as much kinetic energy as you possibly can, and you want to jam that pole into the ground as you're opening up your body to the mountain so that your springs, your legs are compressed, and then they decompress up, around, and down. That, of course, was the part 1 video. Now we're going to add something to that in the initiation phase of the ski. You're going to use the design of that ski for which it was intended, and that was to put the ski on edge and establish the radius of the turn based on the dimensions of the side cut, the hourglass shape of the ski. You're going to learn how to use that, and it's very, very simple. In the initiation phase of the ski, when you're putting your pole plant down, you're coming up, and then you're coming back down, you're driving your knees forward with that ski on edge. And what that ski will do, as those knees are pressing forward in that first phase of the turn, they will turn, but they will continue to turn until eventually, if you just keep those skis on edge, keep those knees forward, those skis will turn back uphill. Now, could there be possibly a better way to control your skis than to have the ability to turn uphill anytime that you want? When you combine this driving force in the first part of the turn with the down up motion, compress, release, up, around, and down, and when you come down you're driving those knees, then when you've got the correct radius established, you say this is about as tight as I want to turn, then at that point you come back to a neutral position on your skis and you're standing square over your skis. You're not leaning forward, you're not leaning back. Also happens to be the position that you establish when you're skiing powder. That's another video for another day. So let's take a look at what happens on the snow when we put these techniques into play.
Okay, all the way across the trail. Okay. Back and forth. Complete your turn. Pretty good, Michael. Yeah. Pretty good. Keep your hands right here. They're down here. Get them up like you're on a steering wheel. See a double pole plant? Real easy. Go right. crook. Little trickier than it looks. Yep. Up high, jump hard. Good, good. Keep going. Don't lose your momentum. Go to the right. Very good. Alright, what we're going to be working on now is getting some vertical motion in your legs, knees especially. And that is critical because what we need to bring together, which comes together at the same time, is the dynamic forces on the ski, roll the ski on edge, drive the knee forward, and that ski is going to turn. You can actually put those turning forces on both skis with the shape skis, the newer design. And we're going to come down, compression phase, and the pole plant is going to be timed with that vertical motion. You see both skiers, and they have so much vertical motion that the knees are in their chest. You see the same thing in giant slalom racers. They are just compressing and pushing those skis so hard into the snow that they're coming all the way down until their skis are in their chest. We don't want to go that far, but we don't want to be stiff in the knee. One thing that happens when you stiffen the knee is you tend to bend at the waist because you know you need to get your center of gravity low. When you bend at the waist, that's the beginning of the end. Because when your center of gravity is shot, there's no weight on the back of your skis, and they slide out. So that's where you lose security because you lose control. Control is security. Security is happiness, enjoyment of the skiing. And so what we want to do is we're going to come down in the compression phase of the turn, hands in front, upper body facing down the mountain the way you're going to go, the way you're turning, the way where you want to go. Pole plant, down, edge those skis, up, around. This is the unweighting phase of the ski. The release, compression release. Your legs are a big spring. You come back up, and that's the unweighting, the second phase. And now you're preparing your other pole plant. You're coming back up, and when you're up, you've got the kinetic force available to do the same thing to turn in the other direction. So it's down, pole plant, edge, jam your knees forward, apply the forces to the tips of the skis. The skis will turn for you when you do that. Good pair of skis, well-tuned, they will turn for you. So down, around, up, prepare the next pole plant, down, around, up. That's rhythmic. That's graceful. That's economy of motion. What grace is, gracefulness, is economy of motion. You don't have unnecessary motion going on. You're not fighting the mountain. You're not afraid of the mountain making you do something you don't want to do. You're in control because you decide how much of that turn you're going to complete. The more you want to control your speed, the steeper the terrain, the more your turn you want to complete. So you're going to come all the way around, down, pole plant, up, around, down, other pole plant. And then, you see where your skis are? Across the fall line? That's control. That's scrubbing speed. Those are wonderful, wonderful breaks, and they'll work for you. What happens when they work for you? You get confidence. Because our fear in skiing comes from the belief that we're going to get going faster than we want to. And we know that that spells disaster. And it does, very often. So we're trying to eliminate that by giving you control. And we're trying to give you control by showing you how a turn can scrub speed. Because you're bringing your skis all the way around, completing your turn, down, up, around, the fun, graceful part of the turn, up, down, other pole plant, up and around. That's the ski turn. That's breaking the intermediate barrier right there. And everybody that I've ever had, pretty much 99% of the people in any intermediate ski class in the United States, in Europe where I taught in French ski school, everybody has the physical skills, the strength, the balance, the mental capacity to understand that. But people defeat themselves. And they just go back to this fighting the mountain and this fear, I'm going to get going too fast, and they get stiff. And you know what else that does? That wears you out. That will just toast your legs in 100 yards, as opposed to just being graceful, knowing anytime you want, you can bring those skis around. You can keep these new shape skis turning until you turn back up the mountain, really. And that's speed control. We're going to do some turns on this run. We're at Ski Apache in Ruidoso, New Mexico. The conditions are wonderful. It's early March, but they've had a big snowstorm here, and we're really enjoying it here. So you'll see on this snow, we're going to try to stick on some trails where we can really demonstrate that. And you practice this. You practice on an intermediate trail, because you've got to get it down. If you get on a trail that's ahead of you, skill-wise, you're going to tense up. You're not going to be able to learn. So we're going to go on some blue trails here, and we're going to make some of these turns, and you'll see. And you'll see what the rhythm is like. And you'll say, oh, you know, you make it look easy. It is easy. It is easy. You can ride a bicycle. You can do this.